Yes.
democracy in diplomacy.
Absolutely. And let's hope all those outcomes are achieved. Robinder Sachdev, come in here. Robinder Sachdev, clearly, of course, the world must realize India's fight is not just against one country, it is against terror. We are against terror, and it's time for the world to unite in the resolve against terror as well. We are against all terrorists, of course, those who perpetrated 9/11, which is why, this gesture says a lot. Sometimes actions speak louder than words, Robinder. What do these actions by Indian delegations say?
Thank you so much, Uday. A pleasure with such an eminent panel. I think both Ambassador Mukherjee and General Kochar have very wisely, looked at different prisms. I'll approach from maybe a slightly another prism, right? My first take on this delegation, and obviously a great entrepreneurial diplomacy, actually, I would say, creative and agile, nimble. I mean, that's to be appreciated. And the composition bipartisan, yes. However, I think the message that the delegations are carrying needs to be fine-tuned with all due respect to the English mastery of Shashi Tharoor and his communications, right? If you'll permit me, what I propose is a single one-line message. Okay, fine. We are saying that we don't want warfare. The question is, okay, India, what do you want? Let's say we are going in our delegation with US senators, congressmen, Australian, British, or whatever. The question is, India, what do you want? I think the answer should be that we want Pakistan to learn to live and let live, period. I mean, I think that's a big message. If I may, of course, there could be some nuances, but to my takeaway, and that squares with Prime Minister's message also, because there's an apparent, gap coming out. The PM says that this is not the era of war. Again, it raises the question, what is this the era of? This is the era for Pakistan and of course the wider world to learn to live and let live. One. So that's the bigger, umbrella or a message I would think that which would perhaps hit with all due apologies. I think it's a finer communication and more effective messaging because we are right now talking messaging. And the question coming to our delegations would be that, okay, you're coming with the dossiers, you're giving us information. The other purpose of this delegations, I would assume, is to warn the world leaders that if Pakistan does not mend its ways, if Pakistan does not learn to live and let live, then we have our new normal, new doctrine, or doctrine which is already there, but defining it, tit for tat plus. Not only we do a tit for tat, we'll do a plus with it, right? So, and the next time Pakistan, indulges in some such activity, it could spiral up even bigger. So the world, we are forewarning you. I think that could be a second message in any case, right? As to the backgrounds. Now, the third thing is that, absolutely, we are facing one little challenge, hyphenation of Pakistan, India, thanks to Mr. Trump, which he has brought out, but we'll keep it on the sidelines for the time being. Now, the issue is 9/11 memorial. Absolutely, yes. I mean, a great, of course, it's the empathy which counts. However, we got to look at also why the world is not acting maybe as we would like them to. The world leaders, I think, probably already know. Okay, the point is, maybe it's too distant an issue for them. Especially for America, you see, radical Islam was a huge one, yes, okay. But by the time Biden came to power, the number one terror America says that it was facing then, Biden in his inauguration speech said that the number one terror we are facing is white racism. So America's, orientation in some ways goes to that, though of course they are continuing their fight against radical Islam. Today itself also they've taken out some Al-Qaeda, right, in the Arab Peninsula, etc. Now, with the coming of Trump, sure, Islamic terror is there and they will absolutely address it. But the number one priority for the Trump and MAGA folks is socialism and communism. They want to fight that in their country. So Islamic terror per se is not touching them, or is touching them, but it's not there on that priority list. That is another reason I think that several of the nations are not acting with as much alacrity and concern as we are. So wrapping up, these delegations are absolutely essential, entrepreneurial, great mix, bipartisan, great messaging they're carrying dossiers. In fact, I've been saying they should be carrying, also probably they are, dossiers of our catalogs of our air defense systems, which have done very well. Leave them out in the seminars, hand them over that these are our, indigenous weapons which perform so well. But
Yes.
the bigger message is that Pakistan has to learn to live and let live.
Yes. What is the messaging, Gautam Mukherjee, according to you, of these delegations, visits, of course, also